Hello, my name is Alex and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a first impressions review of the Beauty Moon Cosmetics Medusa Palette. So in this video we're just going to do close-up swatches and then we're going to do this look as well at the end of the video. If any of those things sound like a good time to you, then please stay tuned. Over here on this channel we like to do dark grungy makeup looks, and we also like to talk about project planning. We were also doing vlogs and cozy content, travel content. However, I've decided to split up the two interests, so I've created a new channel down below for that. So that channel will be all of your cozy life propaganda, so like spend the weekend with me, spend the day with me, and travel videos. And this channel will remain being more makeup focused. I will be uploading every Monday for this channel and then every Thursday for that channel, so there might not be a new video on there yet because the new video will be coming on Thursday. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and I will link everything down below when it is ready if you're interested. But without any further ado, let's get on to the palette. I've been so excited to try out this palette by Beauty Moon Cosmetics. They've been on my radar for quite a while and I feel like they're quite an underrated UK indie brand. I don't feel like a lot of people talk about them and I have no idea why. So their colour stories are quite chaotic, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I love a chaotic colour story. I love lots of colour and intrigue and drama and interest. Like, I'm all about that life. However, their colour stories were just like a little bit too like bright and light chaos instead of dark grungy chaos, which I think this one is a lot closer to what my needs are or my wants are. We don't need any of this eyeshadow. So when they sneak peeked this, I knew this palette had to be mine. And here she is. I'm just being very careful because Venom Veil she's having a moment. I don't know why it didn't come broken, and I haven't been swinging it around, but Venom Veil, the pressure of life has got to her and she's falling forwards a little bit, so I'm just being a bit careful with her. So I'll do a close-up of the palette now so you can see those colours in a little bit more detail, and you should be seeing the swatches on my arm as well now. I was so impressed with the pigmentation of this palette, my god. And I think I say in the Get Ready With Me how I feel like this brand will be a really good brand for people for all skins of colour, because these will definitely show up on those deeper skin tones as well. The only thing that I would comment on is I felt like these two shades, Shadow Hex and Gorgon's Gaze, were a little bit too similar when they swatched on me. I know that you can see the different undertones there, but once they're swatched out, do they really show up? So I don't know what we would have had instead of this green though. I do think that it makes the colour story what it is, having those cute greens in there. So there's not really anything I would change about the palette. It's just these two are quite similar, but I would still find uses for both of those as well. I will just zoom you on in now and we will begin the look. First things first, we're going to go in with some eyeshadow primer, and I'm just going to use the one I always use, which is the NYX Ultimate Eyeshadow and Liner Primer or something like that. Not a very catchy name, but it does the job. You probably know this already if you've seen another one of my videos, but I tend to be quite sparing with my eyeshadow primer just because I have hooded lids and I have quite crepey lids. To have aging 30-year-old crepey lids, a little bit of eyeshadow primer tends to go a long way. A nice thin layer still does the job. It tends to reduce its efficacy if you go a little bit too thick, if you have hooded lids or crepey lids like me. So a nice thin layer is always the best move. Oh no, what's happened? I'm just going to try and be very careful with this because this shade here is trying to fall out of the pan. This shade here, Venom Veil. So I'm just going to be careful with this because if that drops out, I'm going to die. Today, I'm super drawn to this shade here. This shade here, Petrify, and it's this black base with like a rose gold, sort of peachy red shift to it, and I just think it's so special. I've never really seen a shade like that before in a palette, and I think we're going to just do like a halo eye with that in the middle, use a little bit of the reds and then blend it out with this lovely sort of mucky yucky mustardy orange shade here, which is again another one of my favorite type of tones to use. A little bit of a black eye kind of vibe, but with that sort of elder emo edge, so it's going to look super cool hopefully. And we're just going to go in first of all with this shade here, which is Bronze Ritual, and I'm going in, and I always really struggle to say these brushes, so just know this has probably taken 50 takes, but I'm going to go in with the Blend Bunny and Lynn's Makeup Looks collab brushes, and this is the LO6 brush. and just like everything I own, it's got some rabbit fluff stuck to the top of it. And I'm just going to go in with this brush, and I'm going to take quite a hefty amount of that Bronze Ritual, and I'm just going to start floofing that in my crease like so. And I'm being pretty heavy-handed with this actually. I want this everywhere, and then just to blend out like so. I'm pretty sure I've said before that I try not to let my eyeshadow touch my brow because I've got quite a heavy brow, and if my eyeshadow touches my brow it tends to drag everything down a little bit. So yeah, I'm just floofing across and above the crease, and then just going into and under here as well, because I want quite a blown out look today, and I love that tone already. I'm very excited. So we've got that sort of nice sort of blown out base with this mustardy yellow now, and I haven't been too neat with this colour just because it is quite a similar tone to my skin tone, so I can kind of get away with being a little bit messier with it. But yeah, that's just our sort of base, and now we're going to go in and start creating that halo eye. I'm just going to go in with another Blend Bunny and Lynn's Makeup Looks collab brush, and this is the L02 brush, and this is, I think, just going to be a Lynn's Makeup Looks and Blend Bunny collab stan video. Wow, I did that in one take. All the brushes that we're using today are from that collab because they're all super excellent. So I'm just going to go in first of all with the darkest red in the palette, which is this shade here, Temple Dust. And we all know how a halo eye goes. I'm just going to sort of lightly start tickling this corner, and these shades from this palette are very, very intensely pigmented, so I'm being very, very, very gentle. As I've got quite hooded lids, I have to sort of stamp the eyeshadow on with my eye relaxed like so, and try and sort of get the shape that I want. And then I can now raise my lid and fill in that gap. So whether my eye is closed or open, the look will still look the same. I won't just get like a weird crease. Such is the life of a hooded eye gal. It's taken me a long time to figure out what exactly it is that was wrong with not being able to quite achieve looks the same way other people do. That was the reason. I was not working with my hooded lids, I was working against them. And then just the same little tiny, like, I'm just barely touching the pan because these shades are so pigmented, and I'm just going to go in starting to blend that out. And this brush is perfect because it really gets into that corner there. I've got quite a steep, I don't know what to call that. It's quite steep getting into there for me. It might be for everyone, I don't know. So, but this brush makes that really easy. Okay, so this is how we're looking so far. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Wicked Bloom just to diffuse all of that a little bit more, and then just join up the two parts as well. The amount that I'm touching the pan is just absolutely minuscule. If I ever get one of these eyeshadows in a project pan, I am going to be in big trouble, because you do not need a lot of these eyeshadows to create a look. A little goes a very, very long way. I'm keeping my eye open and following the crease of my eye instead of going into my crease, because if I went into my crease that's all the way in there, you wouldn't see the blend. And then I think we're just gonna run this along the bottom as well. But this is Temple Dust again, and then a little tiny touch in the Wicked Bloom just to diffuse that out. Now for the exciting bit, we're going to go in with Petrify. Look at that. What a stunning, stunning piece of work that is. Well done, Beauty Moon. I'm just going in with my finger, and I'm just going to fill in that gap, basically. That's that little gap that's on my eye. I'm just going to fill in that little gap that's left in my eye. And again, I'm being very gentle because the impact these shadows has is massive. So I don't want it to run away with me. I would say maybe this brand potentially isn't beginner friendly just because their shades are so impactful. Obviously perfect for all skin tones though. Like if you've got deeper skin tone than me. If you've got a skin tone similar to mine or deeper, you do not have to fear with Beauty Moon's formula. Like they got you. I still do unfortunately find in this day and age that even for my skin tone, which isn't super deep, it can be challenging sometimes to get eyeshadows to work the way that they were meant to work. And then I'm just going in with a brush that Temple Dust was on and just evening that out a little bit. Look at that, look at that. It's just so twinkly and so shifty and so wonderful. Okay, so there we are. I'm just gonna do my mascara and eyeliner and then I'll come back to you. We've done eyeliner and mascara. However, I did realise I forgot to do my inner corner, so I just thought I'd do my inner corner and my lip on camera with you. And then we'll zoom out and talk about the palette a bit more. For inner corner, I think we're gonna have to go in with Sandstorm here, which is just like a true gold, super sparkly shade. And I'm just gonna, I love this brush for inner corner highlight. It's just the perfect shape to stamp in that little, in that little recess, shall we say. So this is the L04 brush from that same Blend Bunny collab. I like to go quite hard with a highlight, inner corner, cheek, or otherwise. Building it up and blending into the purple that is already laid down. And there we go. Oh yeah, that is just looking so much better now. I was just so transfixed by getting that that black duochrome on my lids. I just forgot about any other shimmer existing. And I was just like putting my mascara on, like, why isn't this look hitting the way that I wanted it to? And then I realised. So I think this is great because it pulls through the sort of mustardy base that we laid down to start with. It just pulls that into focus a little bit more and really completes the look. I'm happy with that. Am I going to double down on the dark and moody vibes? Yes, I think I am. Even though I'm a summer girly through and through, I like hot weather. I like the long days. I like being able to feel joy. We're all feeling that autumn creep, aren't we? So let's go full autumnal with a nice brown lip. Sorry, that was me saying that I think we should go full autumnal with this brown lip. And this is the shade 43. I don't think they have names in the Sephora lip cream. I don't buy from Sephora anymore because they test on animals, but I do still have some of these lip creams left over, so why not use them? And I think this paired with this look today is very good. So let's zoom out and talk about the palette. I have had so much fun working with this palette, and like I've probably said a million times, I really think that Beauty Moon Cosmetics are a super underrated indie brand. I will definitely be looking at their products in the future to buy more from them. As I said previously, a lot of their colour stories just aren't quite my cup of tea. I like a palette with a little bit more mystery, a little bit more intrigue, a little bit more depth, with this, which this one certainly had. I love the depth of the tones in the palette. I love that they're a little bit grey, a little bit grungy, and the quality of the mattes is stunning. So buttery, so easy to blend. Like they don't need me here to blend. They will blend themselves. And then the shimmers, again, really high quality, just a really fantastic palette, and I'm so glad that I bought this. Thank you so much for watching. It means so much to me that those of you who have subscribed. It means the absolute world to me, and I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. If you do feel like subscribing, please do join the grungy makeup gang with me. And yeah, leave a comment or a like as well if you would like to, because it would really help the channel out and I would really appreciate that. Thank you for watching this review, and until next time, take care.